we did have, I mean, the colonists did have Native American support in some ways, but I think at that, because they were far north, I mean, that was in the north, if I'm not mistaken, because that's where the Quebecers.
Yeah.
Oh, we. Ho, 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 ho. You know, there's a Quebecer in Strange Brew with the Mackenzie brothers, eh? I didn't pick that for a reason.
I know. Thank you so much.
Well, I do have some consideration.
If I represent, yo.
I was gonna write you an email, but I'm a little drunk, and spelling is a sober person's game. So I feel I owe you a splanation. I'm sorry. A splanation.
I take these glasses off, my optic beams will destroy everything. Really should have said Cyclops as one of my favorite heroes. Didn't even think about it. Then we'd have had 2 mutants.
Well, yeah. I'm surprised you're still thinking about it. Must be bugging you.
It's not bugging me, and I'm surprised you're surprised that I'm thinking about superheroes.
Well, no. But usually, well, no, that's not true either. I was going to say usually you let things go, but that's not the case.
Really. Not knowing when to let them. Well, actually, I do let a lot of things go anymore. It's one of the.
You've had
yeah, boy, and a howdy. Well, welcome back, my fellow agents, my fellow believers. It is I, X7, who's almost the host today, but I'm going to turn that over to Lilith Draco here with me as always, the producer of the Peerless Producer. No, that's not what I wanted to say. The editor of excellence and the producer of perfection, Lilith herself, because she's amazing.
Thanks.
Wait a minute, then I have to take off my Dracula ring. Put on my ring of power here.
In brightest day and darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight. That's all I remember.
In fact, I have a card which has the other oath, the original oath from the 1940s Green Lantern, and that somebody looked up, I would assume.
Me?
Yeah, you. It's from you.
Oh.
It's the one with the. It's over there somewhere. I find things when I'm looking for things.
Right.
Oh, so I guess I am the host in this episode. You want to go first, or we didn't really talk about this?
No, we didn't. And we could go back and forth.
Well, that's what I meant. One
and one, but you can go first.
Oh, okay. Well, so since I was prepared for a different episode, it's not this.
Surprised.
I thought about it, but they really didn't make movies until the 60s. There is a movie, The Outlaws is Coming, with 100% grade A West. So we are going to talk about 3 of our favorite movies. This out of, well, one of us has a lot of favorite movies. And we're just going to explain or talk about why we like them. And I'm going to show mine in chronological order because it's just easier. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it alphabetically. But
I did take notes about my different movies, so it's not just about why I like them. So there'll be a little more information.
Well, I have.
I know.
Please.
Endless knowledge.
Please stop me. Shh. Kermit, Fozzie, you'll bore the audience. There's a hint. So, but my first one, should we just go right on into it? Oh,
Yeah, let's go into it.
what you drinking tonight there, Lil?
Oh, I'm having a Rogue Brewery
Ooh,
Fat Squatch. Fat Squatch.
I've seen those down here in Fossil
It's
Bay.
a hazy IPA, so not my favorite. I mainly got it for the name.
Well,
It's a 6.7.
no, that's a decent.
Um, oh, Rogue is from Oregon, Newport, Oregon.
I thought she was from Louisiana. No, wait, she was from the South, isn't she?
I don't know where Rogue from X-Men's from. This is from Oregon.
Once again, always thinking about superheroes.
I know. Focus.
It doesn't work so much when you're not in the middle of a supermarket now, does it?
What are you drinking?
Well, as mentioned earlier, it's an old dude's. Why it's singular? Why it's plural when it's a singular beer? It's from Odell's, which is up in the Collins of
Right.
Fort, where your buddy was from, who lived. Which I'd like to go up to that brewery sometime. I've never been
Yeah.
there.
I
I
would
mean,
too.
the mayor of Old Town in Fort Collins is like, you know how Perry's Pizza is with the wall of deliciousness. It's getting back from Fort Collins that's the problem.
Oh yeah. You have to spend the day.
Yeah, and then walk it off like the
Walk it,
time
yeah.
we walk through Boulder.
Yep.
And
Twice.
when, and
We've
when
done that twice, right?
Yeah, and then sadly Boulder, that mall is just still not recovered from COVID. It's sad.
Yeah, that's too bad.
But we can go when we go up to Loveland and we can go there.
All right.
I could do it with Charles.
Yeah.
He's not nearly as much fun as you, but he stayed
No one
sober.
is.
He stayed sober because he was driving.
Okay.
Which, well, anyway, so I have my first movie here, and I've got them. I've got physical media because I like physical media.
Okay.
But this is a movie that I saw many times as a child and enhanced my love of swordplay. Between him and Zorro, we're going with the Adventures of Robin Hood, 1938, 39. Technicolor movie, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, phenomenal all-star cast. Although some people, Errol Flynn has kind of fallen out of favor these days because of, you find out people in the 30s, men in the 30s, could be kind of unsavory. People could be kind of unsavory. But I didn't know that growing up. He's the good guy. He's Robin Hood. Olivia de Havilland is Maid Marian. The wonderful and most excellent fencer in Hollywood, Basil Rathbone, who also played Sherlock Holmes, and Captain Montano from The Mark of Zorro geez, I can't read. It's too dark. He's the villain. He's not Prince John, who's the usurper of Richard the Lionheart. This is the standard of which most Robin Hood movies are measured up to, and most fail. Well, in some people's eyes. It's got a wonderful fight at the end where the bad guy gets. It's just now where Robin Hood fights Sir Guy of Gisborne, and that's Basil Rathbone, who's and your humble agent can say a lot of the dialogue, even though I don't watch it very often. It was a staple on Channel 2.
Okay.
Somebody there liked it.
I have movies that I can repeat the total dialogue. And it's hard not to when you watch it.
It is. It is. Yes. Especially Ghostbusters, but when we were threatened physically.
I fell asleep during that one. I was super bummed because we were watching it with Mom.
I meant when we saw it in San Diego, remember?
Oh, yeah, that
And Mom
too.
was dying.
Yes.
That alien race had infected me. Bastards.
So I've never seen that Robin Hood, so I really don't know anything about it. No comments about it, really.
Well, that's a shame. We can, Mom, Agent, my sainted mother likes it. We could watch it next time you're down here, but you've probably still never seen Rocky Horror because we never made it up there to the curse
Nope.
of the curse of Encinitas was still in effect.
Yep, I
Freaking
still haven't seen that one. Or Casablanca.
yeah, I considered that, but then I quickly unconsidered it.
Really? I
Well,
figured that would be one of your three.
well,
Maybe secretly hoping it would be one of your three, because I know what it does.
It's Brian. You know nothing. Nothing.
You told me,
Oh, son
because not knowing when to shut up.
Trish has seen it with me.
Nice, I'll have to ask her about it.
Not knowing when to say no either. So this is the Blu-ray has lots of fun extra stuff. It's got a couple cartoons with Bugs Bunny featuring Robin Hood. Oh wait, one with Bugs and one with Daffy. Yoinks and away! So I highly recommend the movie. It's just a classic. I'd love to see it on the big screen, but it's I don't know. Geez, it's 38 or 39, so it'll be
Oh, wow.
80 years old. Yeah, it's older than me.
Wow.
Older than dirt.
That's old.
Yes. So that's my first movie.
All right. So I decided, going back to movies that we can repeat the full dialogue, my first movie is Spaceballs. It came out in 1987, June 24th, 1987, in the US. And of course, Mel Brooks is the director, and he plays Yogurt. He also plays President Scroob. So he plays a couple of characters. And we've got Daphne Zuniga. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. She's Princess Vespa. We've got Rick Moranis. A. He plays Dark Elmet A. I really like him. Like, if you know anything about him and his personal life, he is a really stand-up guy.
He's tops. He
Yes.
really is.
And then we've got Bill Pullman as Lone Star and John Candy as Barf.
His own best friend.
Yes. Joan Rivers plays Dot Matrix. And then Dick Van Patten played King Roland. So yeah, I chose it because I love the movie. It makes me laugh. I'm also a Star Wars fan, so it's a play on Star Wars. And I can repeat all of the lines.
So I'll tell you two stories. You interrupt me at any point in time. First time I watched this movie, I'm old enough to have seen it in the theater. I did not. The first time I watched it, I was mildly amused. Right? Mel Brooks can be hit and miss. And This was no Young Frankenstein. But I don't know that I'd seen Pizza's the Hut of it after that until, and strangely enough, I did not know Lilith at the time, but when I met Lilith, one of the first movies we did watch was this one. And watching it with her was way more fun than I could have imagined, because when you watch a movie with somebody who loves a movie, I appreciate it a lot more now. And like you said, with Rick Moranis, it's just knowing just about him. Did you ever see at least the clips from the Goldbergs with Dark Helmet?
I don't think I have.
Well,
I think I intended to look it up, but I don't think I got around to it.
It's his voice. He provides the voice. So I don't know that he's back in acting, but he's done voiceover work. Yeah. And I believe the whole episode's about the movie.
Okay.
The main character, who I may or may not identify with at all, wants to write the sequel. So just saying, good choice.
Yeah. Thanks. One fun fact is when they're at that space diner and it shows the space diner, the Millennium Falcon is parked at the diner there. And then out of all the jokes, Mel Brooks was most proud of his gag about the merchandising.
Yep.
And the part with Colonel Sanders, the Spaceballs, before it was finished. Those are the two that he enjoyed the most.
Do you know the story behind the merchandising?
No.
He went to Lucas to ask him to say, I want to do this parody. Lucas said, well, okay, you can't sell any merchandise. Zero. That's why it's all in the walls back there. And apparently Lucas did, George Lucas, some of us. But if you go to Skywalker Ranch, you might get tasered. That's why there's
I would like to go.
Spaceballs merchandise. You know who slept at Skywalker Ranch? With the special effects guy? Yes. Everything revolves around him, doesn't it? Him and his Wii.
Only because you brought it into my life.
But, okay. Yeah. Mom gave me the money to buy the book. So it's Mom's fault, really. Boy, that shots really help everything.
They do. They really do.
But that's a great choice. I mean, I appreciate the movie so much more because of you.
I think you were banned after that night.
We watched Wayne's World too, right? Or Wayne's World.
Yes. Yep.
Speaking of movies, I really need to get another copy of. All right. Well, that was, yeah. I mean, I enjoy Spaceballs way more because of you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome for Brick. Okay, so speaking of Mel Brooks, he has a cameo in my next movie, along with Mr. Steve Martin, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Richard Pryor, and many more. Telly Savalas, James Coburn. My next movie is 1979's The Muppet Movie, which is the same age as somebody I know who will remain nameless, but not Lilith. She's way older than that. However, it's from June-ish of 1979. But The Muppet Movie, saw it in the theater with my brother and my brother from another mother, Charles. We laughed so hard the entire movie that, well, it's just, and I still laugh. I know the jokes are coming, still laugh. Now, The Muppets, this is the story of how the Muppets got together.
Okay.
So it's a prequel before prequels were a bad word. Thank you, George Lucas. Using it wrong. Sharon.
Cool.
Still using it wrong, Cher. But it's got the Muppets up to 1979. And it's the current, those were the current ones. The Muppet Show had been in existence on television. And of course, my kindergarten class of 1970 was the first class that went to school after Sesame Street started. So my teacher, Miss Klaus, my memory, the things I want to forget, I don't. But this is what my sainted mother says, that our class knew more than any class that she'd ever taught, because we were her first class. But I'm assuming she'd been a substitute for a while. She cried on our last day of school.
Oh.
After she got done yelling at us for being squirrely on our last day of school. What did she expect?
Yeah.
Be that as it may, the Muppet Movie, it's Jim Henson and Uh-oh, Fuzzy Bear's voice, Miss Piggy's voice, Yoda's voice, whose name I'm drawing a blank. Frank Oz were in their prime, and they had the Muppet Players, and it's just a sweet movie. It's very funny. It's very touching. There's a little drama and suspense in it because Doc Hoppa wants Kermit to sell his fried frog legs. Have you seen the Muppet movie, Lil?
I don't think I have. I maybe have when I was way younger, but
Have you seen
in
Animal?
general, I didn't care too much about the Muppets. Like I watch stuff, but
Have you seen any? No, that you know that Jim Parsons is in a Muppets movie, right?
no.
Oh, it was one of the newer ones, but it got good reviews. It's also a musical, and the songs are super catchy. I mean, not over the rainbow. That's the Wizard of Oz. The Rainbow Connection is from here. It's just, it's just
I'm sure I've seen it, but
movie is near perfection. Well, it'd be like watching it over again for the first time,
it would be. Yeah.
like I was with when I watched Spaceballs with you.
Right.
I didn't remember it and didn't know anyone would find it that funny. And you did.
We're
And there
out here. We're out here.
well, no, a lot of you, way more people than I knew, watched that movie a lot when they were much younger. Or now.
Yeah. All
Your turn.
right. So this is one I thought that we would maybe do the same of.
Oh yeah.
So my second movie came out in July 30th, 1993, called So I Married an Axe Murderer.
No wonder you were worried.
Yeah.
Heath,
So it
now.
stars Mike Myers. He plays Charlie McKenzie and Stuart McKenzie. And then we've got Nancy Travis that plays Harriet Michaels, Anthony LaPaglia, who plays Tony, and we've got Phil Hartman, who plays one of my favorite characters, Ranger John Johnson, or you can call him Vicky.
You know how hard I'm trying not to step on your toes right now?
It's a good one. I love this one.
I love Vicky. He's my
So
favorite.
Mike Myers' performance of Stuart was based on the mannerisms of his own father. And so some trivia that I found out about this is the scene where Tony laughs at Stuart's Colonel Sanders bit, the impression, that was not scripted.
Oh, I love the Colonel and his wee beady eyes.
And then Mike Myers did take time off of Saturday Night Live to film the movie, which is understandable. And then the butcher shop scene, Nancy Travis accidentally cut off the tip of her middle finger.
Yikes.
And when you see her digging around in the powder for the rings, you can actually see a Band-Aid on her finger. It was from that.
H.
It was on her left hand.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
Yeah, so some of that blood in there was probably real.
Do you link your own sausages?
It's also another one of those movies that I can quote.
Yeah, me too.
And sing the poem songs. They're great.
Josie and those hot pussy cats.
They make me horny. Saturday morning. Girls of cartoons will leave me in ruins. I want to be Betty's Barney. Hey, Jane.
Betty never did anything for me.
Get me off this crazy thing called
Did Jane.
love.
Now, Josie. No. We're just not going to talk about Josie now, are we?
We will sometime.
Oh, I'm sure we will. You'll probably get her to give you that damn driver's license.
You know she will. So this is
I'm
just
in,
another movie that I laugh the entire way through.
and another one we've watched together, and it was
Yes.
even better. It was great to begin with. Lilith made it better. I did almost make Trish throw up watching this because I kept rewind. It was a videotape, and I'd said
Right.
I told her, you may enjoy this. I think you might like this because I watched it with a youth group who probably should not have been watching it.
No.
But the first time, and then I told her, I think you might enjoy this. And she did. I'm starting to wonder about the two of you. I've never seen you both in the same place at the same time.
We might be the same person.
Well, much like Brick 1 and Brick 2, the world might end.
True.
I would be in hell, but please don't stop. It'd be worth it. All right. Well, we're down to movie 3,
Yes.
my most recent movie, which does star one of your favorite actors, but it's one of my 2 original superheroes.
Mm.
One is A West, and the other one is The Amazing Spider-Man. This is the 3rd movie from Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire's in it. Tom Holland, the Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man. No Way Home, in which Peter causes a whole universe to collapse. It's I don't have many of the Marvel Cinematic Universes. 2 Avengers, 3 Avengers. I don't know. I think I got the one we were in the wrong theater for, but
Is that the first Avengers?
Yes, it's on DC, so I don't have to get a lot of them. There's a lot of them, but
yeah,
I've seen this one. I have not watched it since the first time.
I have not seen it. And I do love me some Doctor Strange.
And it's he's a little less well, he's kind of a dick.
Well, yeah.
But he's his interaction with both Spider-Man and with Peter and his buddy Ned, who uses the sling ring himself. Okay. Interestingly enough, it's a long movie, longish, but you get the team up. I love superhero team ups. You get 3 Spider-Man team ups in it. You get Tobey Maguire, Andrew, somebody,
Garfield.
Yeah, that guy, named after the cat, and Tom Holland. And seeing Tobey come back, I've never seen the Garfield Spider-Mans because they're very uneven from what I've read and heard. And I don't hate him. I mean, he's great in this because he got a good script.
Yeah.
But the villains are kind of the Sinister Six, and there's you finally get the line from Aunt May, and instead of from Uncle Ben, but it's okay because they. Your humble agent was very happy watching it. I kind of knew that. Well, I kind of knew it was going to happen with the team ups. I mean, Peter's identity's been disclosed. He goes to Doctor Strange to make the world forget, and then he keeps adding people on, and the spell goes awry because you can't keep putting writers on or amendments on spells. It's just best to keep them simple. And so he causes the multiverse to crash. This is before the TVA. We found out about it anyway.
Yeah.
It's just, and then how the redemption stories and but there's way more questions that I have after it. But it's probably my favorite. Yeah, it's my favorite Spider-Man movie because there's 3 Spider-Mans. I mean, that's 3 times the Spider-Man. I love the first 2 Tobey Maguire movies for a wide variety of reasons. And I'd probably at least enjoy the 3rd one with Venom. It was all right. It was better than I thought. They could have left Venom out altogether. They didn't need it. They had the Sandman and Hobgoblin Jr., Green Goblin Jr.
The last Spider-Man I saw was the second Tobey Maguire movie.
Yeah. Well, and and Dr. Octopus is in this one too. Same actor.
Mhm. Yeah.
And he is Alfred Molina is charming, yeah. I mean, he's such a great actor. These these superhero movies didn't need. I mean, they had great actors who you didn't know, and I didn't know Alfred Molina until that. Although I'd seen him in a movie, Enchanted April. Thank you, Trish. Speaking thereof. Um, there's a reason men go to see romantic movies with women.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. So, and I'm
It was
not
a waste of a movie trip.
well. It was on DV. It was on VHS again by then. So, but she loves that movie. But he's in it then, and he's not a supervillain, or
Yeah.
But it's just really, really a good movie, even with Venom. Well, you haven't seen it. No spoilers. And Doctor Strange is in it, and Happy's in it, and Aunt Hottie is in it, and
Yep.
it's just really good.
So what year did that one come out?
I don't know. 3 years ago.
So
It's set after Endgame, but some fans have posited it was set at the same time that
okay.
Black Panther 2 was happening because none of the Avengers went. Have you seen Black Panther 2?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
I've seen the first one, not the second one.
Oh, right. Well, you know that the wonderful actor that played him passed away, and they had to talk about it. So none of the Avengers went to the funeral, and they're positing that they were all busy doing other things. And besides, Wakanda is, a hidden land, sort of.
Right.
So, anyway, I highly recommend. I do. I mean, it's my of the newest movies. I do love Endgame for another wide variety of reasons. Not so fond of Infinity Wars, but
So after that movie came out, it was Christmas Eve. I was at a family party,
yes,
and
Christmas.
one of my cousins,
It was around Christmas. Yes.
One of my cousins has two sons, but the older son, he was maybe 6 or 7, maybe not even that old at that time, and he had just seen the movie. And so he kept talking about it the whole party. And I told him that, I do love superheroes and all the Marvel movies and everything. And he's like, have you seen the new, Spider-Man? I'm like, no, I haven't seen that. And he went on this, like, yelling at me, going on this rage about how could I not see it? I need to go see it because this reason and this reason. I just was dying laughing. It was so funny. I got lectured.
Remind me, I need to send him his $10.
Yeah. So I still haven't seen it, but I do know all the characters that appear in it. So.
My mom saw it. My saint mother.
Nice.
I saw it was we saw it with the Ellises. Around must have been Christmas, and we went to Perry's first, and went over there, and I sat next to the youngest one, maybe who's now in college, and he was trying to top me in my knowledge.
That's not gonna happen.
You should have been here for that one.
I should have.
Yeah. Fossil Bed's not a hopping place, but you miss out on a lot.
All right. So speaking of Marvel and the universe and superheroes, I almost went with a movie for one specific scene. But that was my backup in case we had one the same.
I wonder what scene that could be, boy.
So the movie I did end up going with, and this was my absolute favorite for many years until, it's still one of my favorites, but I can't say I have a favorite movie. I just like a variety.
Right.
So it's The Last of the Mohicans,
Oh.
which came out in 1992. It was directed by Michael Mann. It starred Daniel Day-Lewis as Hawkeye. And then Madeline Stowe was in it. She played Cora. Anyway, well, I like the movie. It's set in 1757 during the French and Indian War. And so it's just mainly about getting Cora and her sister from one place to where her father is. And one of the things that I really love about the movie is the music. The music is, to me, is just so like amazing. Like music has that power to touch your soul. And that's what this did. So that's why I chose this one.
Have you read the book?
I haven't.
Me either. And I've seen, I mean, it's been several adaptations of the book. And there's even been a serial, like a chapter play, which has nothing to do with the book except for the name and the characters. Because they're just, they're stopping the bad guys. I mean, it's simplified, very simple. But I'd like to see that. I've seen that once because it was a big deal with the axe throwing and the commercial and the trailer. That's what I remember, and that's what I remember the most about it. I don't remember anything else about the movie. I know I've seen it because I watch this. It's
Right.
he's a good-looking guy. Got cowboy guy. He's a good-looking guy. You have seen Better Off or The Sure Thing, right, with John Cusack and Daphne Zuniga.
Yes.
Good-looking guy. We're a good-looking guy.
Yep. So in this movie, the events are historical, but not the storyline.
Right.
Yeah. So, the siege of Fort William Henry, by the French under Marquis de Montcalm. I'm way mispronouncing, I'm sure. That part is accurate.
Maybe.
As was so they had support from one of the native tribes, and that part was true as well. Back then they did have support from them.
I'd like to see that movie again. I don't know where if it's. I mean, I'm sure it's available somewhere.
I have it on Blu-ray.
Oh.
One of the few that I've kept.
Ooh la la.
Oh no. As you showed all your Blu-rays.
No, the
I do have it on Blu-ray, and I haven't seen it in several years, so I'd like to rewatch it again.
Muppets not Blu-ray.
Oh.
I'm annoyed.
Well.
Because we're double dipping.
So I'd like to watch it again, but it's a good one. And I know South Park made fun of it.
Well, but they make fun of everything.
They make fun of everything.
Make fun of I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they made Clash of the Titans in Imagination Land. The Kraken's in Imagination Land, right? Imagine. No, go up a little bit. Imagination. I think you can get to Casa Bonita easier now, by the way.
Really? Is it? And it's open and going?
Well, yeah, it's up, and there's a brewery right next to it.
It's on the list.
There's one thing I want to do is go to Casa Bonita. Awesome.
How far in advance do we have to make a reservation for the Cartman table?
I don't know. I've already sat at the Cartman table. Thank you.
I know, you're so special.
Hit it, Pearl. I'll do a little superior dance. We didn't even ask for it then.
You just got it.
Well, yeah, because we went late. Because if you don't, you have to wait in line and wait in line.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been there a time or two. Who knew it was going to be such a thing? Oh, we should really talk about the South Park movie.
Yes. And I'll have to make sure I plug in my microphone so we can pick up the high-pitched noises.
Talk to children all around the world.
Yep, exactly. All right. Any last thoughts?
Good choices on movies. Improved.
Yeah, thanks.
We'll do this again and see if we can surprise each other.
And maybe the one specific scene in one movie will make it on the list.
They know what the scene is now. You're probably going to stick it in there, bunk, in post. All right, my fellow agents and fellow believers, this has been our episode. I wish I had a pithy saying to come to remember to, like be careful or be roadkill, but I used that in the first one. How many people's all
Well,
that?
before we sign off, if people could like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment and let us know some of your favorite movies and why.
Yes, excellent. And watch for 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes, please. Really helps the algorithm.
Yes.
Algorithm. I don't know who algorithm is, but his brother algorithm. Until our next assignment, agents, this is X7 and my partner.
Lilith Draco.
We're signing off.
I live long and prosper.
I got beer.
I got bottled breast milk.
Why don't we start with the beer?
Okay.
Do you like the beer?
I do. Although it's actually a lager.
Huh. What's the difference between beer and lager?
I don't know. We could look it up.